There are haircuts that do something no outfit, no accessory, and no makeup can do alone. They change the way people look at you, on the street, at the restaurant, at the meeting. Strangers stop, look again, compliment, and you don't even need to understand why to feel the effect. But today, I'm going to explain it to you, because there's a logic behind each of these cuts, and when you understand that logic, you never look at your hair the same way again. Today, I'm going to show you 6 cuts that beautify any face shape and make mature women look exactly what they are. Elegant, well-groomed, and impossible to ignore. Cut 1. Customized long bob. There's one cut that high-end stylists recommend more than any other for women who want to look consistently elegant. It's not the shortest. It's not the longest. It's the one that's exactly in between the two. The long bob. But here's the detail that most people don't notice. It's not just any long bob. It's the long bob adjusted for your specific face. Imagine 2 women with the same cut. One looks elegant, modern, with the face framed harmoniously. The other looks like the hair is simply hanging. The difference? The length ends at a slightly different point, and that millimeter changes everything. There's a technique that stylists call personalized facial contouring. The cut needs to end at the exact point that balances your face shape. For a round face, a little below the chin, with the front slightly longer, this creates a visual elongation that slims. For a square face, soft ends with movement, so as not to make the jaw even more pronounced. For a long face, soft side volume, because very straight closes the face even more. For an oval face, luck is great. Almost all versions work. And there's a rule that high-level stylists follow without exception. The long bob should never end exactly at the widest point of your face. When that happens, the visual effect is the opposite of what you want. Mentally, imagine this look. Well-polished long bob, white shirt, gold earrings, and beige blazer. There's not an expensive piece there, but the entire silhouette looks rich. Now, there's a cut that's even more democratic than that. And almost no one talks about it with the seriousness it deserves. Cut 2. Clavicut at collarbone height. If you've ever been torn between cutting your hair or letting it grow, there's a much smarter answer than choosing one of the extremes. The clavicut, the cut at collarbone height, is probably the safest and most elegant of this entire list. It's not too short to scare, it's not too long to weigh down, and it does something that few cuts can. It visually elongates the neck and décolletage at the same time. There's a technical logic behind this. When the hair ends at collarbone height, it creates what stylists call the décolletage elongation line. The gaze travels the face, descends through the neck, and lands softly on a clean line. The effect is refinement, even without any accessories. Now, the mistake that ruins this cut: ends that are too straight and heavy. When the ends are cut in a very uniform way and without movement, the hair loses that lightness that makes elegance happen. Especially on longer or very pronounced faces, this extra weight unbalances everything. The right clavicut has light ends with a natural movement that looks effortless. This isn't an accident, it's technique. Imagine the look: boat neck blouse, beige wide leg pants, gold accessories, and this cut at the right height. It's the kind of look that makes people think the woman is much richer or more sophisticated than they imagine. But the next cut is different. It works in a way that most people can't explain, but have felt at some point in their lives. Cut 3. Medium cut with invisible layers. Have you ever seen a woman with medium hair that seemed to have an almost magical movement? As if the hair had life, lightness, and at the same time was perfectly in place? That's not luck. It's a specific technique. The medium cut with invisible layers uses a graduation that stylists call expensive movement. The layers don't appear as steps. They don't look choppy. They simply make the hair move in a natural way, as if each strand knew exactly where to go. And what makes this so powerful for different face shapes is that the layers can be strategically positioned. For a round face, they're below the chin, creating a subtle elongation. For a square face, soft in the front to break the angles without aggression. For a long face, side volume to balance. For a heart face, movement at the height of the chin to harmonize with the forehead. When the layers are poorly done, the result is completely different. Thin ends, wrong volume on top. That choppy look that ages instead of rejuvenating. The rule that defines the difference. An elegant layer doesn't look like it exists. It looks like natural movement. Mentally build this look. Medium cut with soft layers, light blue shirt, white pants, nude sandals. Simple, fresh, refined. It's the kind of elegance that doesn't shout. It just exists. But now comes something that seems simple at first glance, but has a geometric secret that completely changes the perception of the face. Cut 4. Elongated bob with slightly longer front. The traditional bob, that short and straight cut, has a version that very few women know about, and that's much more elegant and versatile. The elongated bob with the front a little longer than the nape. At first glance, it looks like a small variation, but the visual effect is completely different. There's a technique called elongation diagonal. When the front of the hair is slightly longer, the gaze of the person looking at you automatically follows a diagonal line downwards, and this diagonal line makes the face look thinner, more elongated, more harmonious. The straight bob, the one that cuts exactly the same on both sides, doesn't create this effect. It can even visually widen, especially on round or square faces. This is the mistake many women make. They copy a bob they saw in a magazine without realizing that cut was designed for a face shape completely different from theirs. The golden rule here is clear. If the face is round or square, the bob needs to elongate, not open the sides. And when this cut is combined with an off-white blazer, a satin blouse, and a medium gold earring, the image that appears is of a modern woman, self-assured, with a very refined taste. Now there's an element that can transform any of these cuts into an even more powerful elegance frame, and it's something that many women are afraid to try. Cut 5. Medium cut with personalized curtain bangs. The curtain bangs are back, but not in the way you might be imagining. It's not that heavy, thick, straight fringe that hides half the face. It's a light, open fringe that connects softly with the rest of the cut and does something very specific. It directs attention to the eyes and cheekbones. Stylists call this the soft gaze framing technique. When the curtain bangs are well done, they don't hide the woman. They frame her. They lift the expression, soften the forehead, and create a visual focus that makes the face more expressive. But the point that changes everything. The length needs to be adapted to the face. For a round face, the fringe needs to be longer and very open, so as not to shorten too much. For a square face, soft without weight. For a long face, it can be a little more present because it helps to visually shorten. For an oval face, there's more freedom of variation. The mistake that destroys this cut is copying someone else's bangs without making this adaptation. A fringe that looked beautiful on one face can be completely wrong on yours. Not because the fringe is ugly, but because the length and opening are wrong for your shape. Imagine medium cut with curtain bangs, off-white shirt, caramel pants, gold earrings, feminine, elegant, well-groomed. The kind of look that people describe as, she has something different, without being able to name what. And now we come to the last code, and this one, for some reason, is the most surprising. And don't forget, you don't need a closet full of clothes to be elegant, you just need strategy. If you want to learn how to turn 15 pieces into over 150 elegant looks, the link to my complete guide is right below, in the pinned comment. Download it and stop struggling in front of the mirror. And if you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code that appears on the screen or in the corner of the video. Cut 6. Soft U-cut for long hair. There's a very common belief that after 50, long hair is less elegant, that it's better to cut it, that long hair weighs down, tires the face, ages. And in some cases, this belief has foundation, but not for the reason people think. The problem isn't the length. The problem is the shape. Long hair without a cut, without shape, with dry ends and poorly distributed weight, that does age. But long hair with the right shape? It's one of the most elegant and feminine images that exist. The soft U-cut is the secret that women with long hair and sophisticated appearance use without realizing it. It doesn't take away length. It removes that final weight that makes the face look tired. And with light front layers, it creates a frame that values the face in a way that few cuts can. The technique behind this has a name: perimeter lightness. The final line of the hair is softened by the U-shape, creating natural movement without losing length. The front layers frame the face with lightness. The rule that defines everything. After 50, long hair only looks elegant when it has shape, shine, and healthy ends. Without that, it's not elegance. It's neglect with length. Mentally, build this look. Long hair in a soft U, with light waves, matte silk shirt, beige wide-leg pants. This image isn't in a hurry. It's not trying to look young. It's simply elegant. And that's much more powerful. 6 cuts. 6 ways to create elegance in a way that goes far beyond length or the fashion of the moment. What they all have in common is that they were designed to value the face, not to follow a generic trend. And when the cut is right for your face, something happens that's difficult to explain, but easy to feel. People perceive you differently. They can't name the reason, but they notice. Now, tell me in the comments, which of these cuts best matches what you're looking for right now? Curious to see what you're going to answer.